So today we're going to do a little bit of a root collar excavation here on this Bradford. Tree's not in the best of shape. It's been living in a little bit of a volcano mulched area for a while. So we're going to try to get some of this away, excavate some of this material, find out if we've got some girdling roots here to attend to, and try to get this thing excavated and a little bit better in its home. What's the
whole point of excavating the roots?
It's going to stop girdling roots from getting around that tree and other fibrous roots growing in this zone underneath the canopy.
Okay.
We really want to keep those fibrous roots out here on the outside of the canopy where they belong. So when trees start to get stuff in there, and especially in a volcano mulch situation, they've got the opportunity to eat right there. They'll do that, but that's certainly not what nature wants a tree to be doing in its environment.
Where do we start?
So I try to get a steel rake. We're going to pull some of this material away. We'll take a few wheelbarrows away so that when we do start to excavate, we're not putting that material all over the lawn.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
And then just working a radial pattern. Yep. The roots like to grow like sun rays or wagon wheels, you know this. So try to work that way while you're raking, so it's going to help those roots stay in the right direction. And you'll also find anything that's growing like around the tree with that rake at the same time. So we're doing some air spade work today, guys. A lot of soil particles flying around. You probably want to cover up the best you can. I like to use a nice set of coveralls. It's simple, it's easy. This is our air tool that we use to pneumatically excavate trees. You've got a nozzle here that's going to funnel that air down. It's coming out of the machine about 300 PSI. When it comes out of this nozzle, it's forced to about 3,000 PSI, and then it opens back up, and it gives you a really great cone that'll move soil particles, not a lot of root particles. I like to work in radial, so like make a wagon wheel. I'll cut it in half, cut that in half, and then cut those halves in half. So we've done a radial trench on this to try to expose some root flare without excavating the whole thing. So this is a good way to look in here without blowing the whole thing to pieces. And we're really looking for a nice root flare on this tree. In most of this tree, I'm seeing that. We do have some fibrous roots under the canopy, which aren't a huge deal. But there are also a couple on this side of the tree that aren't as perfect as we like. And if those disappeared, we would improve it, and we're going to allow these larger feeder roots to do more work. Okay. And we're also going to be kind of encouraging growth toward the end of the feeder roots instead of in this area where the mulch has been mounded up over time. Yep. So stuff like this, once we start to excavate the rest of the pit, we'll start to remove some of these odd feeder roots that have grown into the mulch mounding and taken advantage of that food and the space that was under the tree. Yep. And we'll start to excavate, get lower, and then we'll reset the grade on this tree, and it'll be in better shape. It'll be ready for the landscapers to come through with a little bit of mulch and make it look nice. I would say what we're looking at, guys, is an exact thing that we wanted to find. We found a lot of smaller feeder roots that have come up over the original root flare roots. So these are the ones that you want to show. This is that hourglass shape. And these are the ones that have moved up into the mulch that's accumulated over the years. So all of these guys, we're gonna get a small pail or the wheelbarrow. I've got some root pruning tools in here. We're gonna lose a lot of these, and we're gonna expose these flare roots that come down, the root flare, and bring the grade probably back up to about here. So a lot of these are just gonna go away. They don't need to be there. We need to encourage that growth out of the tip of these bigger roots.